Hello, hypertension resistors. Today I want to talk to you about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and other related topics. Now we know that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine meets the FDA requirements for emergency use. We will know more about this after the committee meets on February the 26th. Now the Novavax vaccine will apply for its emergency use authorization early April. Meanwhile, according to Pfizer and Moderna, they will be supplying 220 million vaccines by March 30th. And although some experts seem to think that we should only give one vaccine, allowing more people to be vaccinated, Dr. Anthony Fauci says that we're going to just stick with the science. And the science says 2 vaccines are the most effective, and that's what we're going to do. Unless you're getting the 1-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So far, this is working for us. Look at the trending down of the cases with 68 million doses of vaccines. And this number includes first and second shot. And the deaths, not so much. And we're really looking at the fact that deaths are coming down, and we dipped here. But the problem is it's starting to trend, looks like it's trending back up. Some people seem to think that this dip is due to the snowstorms. Whatever the case may be, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine will help us with this pandemic. Johnson & Johnson vaccine is a 1-shot deal, so we won't have to worry about the second shot. And so the whole thing about it is getting those vaccines into people's arms. That's our challenge right now. People are confused about where to go to get that vaccine, and others are just concerned about the efficacy of the Johnson & Johnson versus the Moderna, the Pfizer, and the Oxford vaccine. Only the real-world effectiveness data will be able to tell us the true effectiveness of the vaccine. Remember when Pfizer first came out, the clinical trials stated that there was a 52% efficacy with the first dose. And now, after given and tested in the real world, we know now the efficacy for the first Pfizer vaccine is 72%. Let's hear what Dr. Lena Wen has to say about this.
Because I think people have gotten fixated on the initial number. They look at the number that's reported of 72% effective in the U.S. for Johnson & Johnson versus 95% for Pfizer and Moderna and say, well, that vaccine doesn't look as good. But actually, we need to be looking at the numbers that really matter. The endpoints that matter are preventing severe disease. And in this regard, the Johnson & Johnson is 85% effective at preventing severe disease, and actually 100% effective at preventing such severe disease that it causes hospitalization and death. Something else that really matters for Johnson & Johnson is that one of the 3 clinical sites is South Africa. And the predominant form of the variant at the time that this trial was done in South Africa is this B1351 variant. Yes. The one that maybe the other vaccines, we don't know how effective they are towards it. And even in South Africa, there were no cases of hospitalizations or deaths. Supply is the limiting factor. And so having one more vaccine that's authorized, especially one that's available as 1 dose rather than 2 doses, certainly will help. Although I think a lot more needs to be done to increase supply at this point.
In reality, all these vaccines are equally effective, although the efficacy is not the same, because all of them are preventing death by 100%. According to what we know now, we shouldn't have a certain amount of freedom right now. Once you get the vaccine, we should not change our behaviors. We don't know enough about the vaccines, but we do know some things. Here is Dr. Lena telling us about what we know and what we don't know.
What we know about these vaccines is that they are so highly effective at preventing you from getting severely ill, which is so critical. What we don't fully know yet is the degree to which it prevents you from being a carrier of coronavirus who could still be infecting others. Now, there's growing evidence that probably getting the vaccine also reduces your viral load, your ability to infect others, but we don't know exactly how much yet.
That's all I have for you today. If this video was useful, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.